Okay, so take a seat, or yeah, if you can. So welcome. This is the first of a series of 5 sessions I'm doing to kind of recognise and support people. So this week is mental health awareness week. So that's kind of got me into mode to look at how I can take this just short interventions really around mindfulness. So most people know what mindfulness is, even if they couldn't define it. So the definition tends to be around being in the present moment. So not thinking what have I just done, what I'm going to do later. That's a very simplistic way of looking at it, but I think you get the gist. And it's about being non-judgmental about where you're at. So it's not kind of this self-talk that says I'm not good enough, this isn't right, this other person isn't right, this is wrong, this is right, or whatever. So those kind of judgments that are part of the human condition. So mindfulness is working with those areas, and it also tends to bring in this idea of compassion. So that's just a brief definition. So over these 5 days, what I'm suggesting people do is they have a little bit of time to kind of contemplate where they're up to with their mental health, or their mental well-being really is what I'm looking at here. So what I'm suggesting you look at is where you think you are now and what you're actually doing to support your mental well-being, what's helping you, what you know already supports you, and also whether you know if there's any obstacles in the way that you just need to identify and potentially work with and work around. So where are you up to? You know, what support have you got around your well-being, and anything that's getting in the way? Those are my suggestions for this week, which you can either just answer in your own mind at some point, you can contemplate a bit more, you can write a journal, just as a way to reflect. Okay, so today we're going to focus more around what can we do and work with around kind of stressful states. So most of you know stress can be really good. The right amount of stress is really helpful. You know, some of you are runners, you know, a degree of anxiety and excitement to kind of move forward, and that kind of can be a positive challenge. Often when we've chosen a challenge and we're really motivated, then that kind of energy is much more positive. Where it all goes a little bit astray is when we get into distress, where we can't switch off the mental chatter, or we can't switch off this kind of fight and flight, always on alert, always a little bit agitated, yeah, which we can get into at certain times in our life. And this is the human condition. Everybody we know has gone through these experiences. It's kind of like, this is what it is to be human. But what tools can we find to kind of support us? So we're going to be particularly interested today about how we hold stress in our body. So, you know, our body knows what's going on in our minds, in our hearts, and it kind of really starts to show through tension in our body. So what I'd like to do first is to do just a brief check-in. So what I mean by that is, as you sit here, as you find your feet on the ground, you find your hands wherever they're comfortable, maybe on the lap, as you feel the support of the chair that you're sitting in, that you start to find a little bit of a space to potentially find a little bit of relaxation in your seat, then you ask yourself the question of, how is my mental well-being now? Is there some difficulty there? Is it kind of broadly a neutral position? Or do you feel really positive about your mental well-being right now? So you could give yourself a scoring if you like. So 0 or 1 being kind of in a difficult place at the moment. 5 would be neutral, and kind of feeling quite upbeat where you are now would be 10. So just giving yourself a basic score there, and just seeing how that sits with you. So again, it is a judgment, but it's also just a state of fact. It's a subjective feeling, but it's just how you are. It's just a measure of where you are at this moment. So we're going to work with the body. Yes. So are you really aware of tension in your body generally and specifically now? So one way of kind of tracking our tension in the body is to really know what it feels like. So what I'm going to suggest, it's just a suggestion, is that you just start to bring your fingers into your hands. So it's kind of like really tensing up the hand. So fingers in towards your palms and really tense those up. And notice what goes on in the hands, in the arms, in the neck, in the breathing. And then gently release them. And relax them and soften them and lengthen them just slightly. And then just repeat what happens as you start to tense up in the body. And how you feel. And then what happens as you start to relax and let go. And let go and let go and let go. And let go. And then let your hands be comfortable again on your lap or wherever you want to place them for support. And then one other kind of experience, if you like, of tension. If you're comfortable, just create a little bit more tightness in your jaw. So just bring your teeth a little bit closer together. And then release that tension. Let the teeth separate a little way. So again, just repeat again. Just see how it feels in the body. How familiar that feels. And then really relax that tension, ease. Okay, so for most of us, as I say, as we get stressed and particularly distressed, we hold tension in the body. So being more mindful of the tension is a start. And we're just going to go through a body scan, a body sensing over the next few minutes now. So you can have your eyes open, you can have your eyes closed, but if you've got your eyes open, just lowering your gaze and having a much more subtle sense of your vision, so a little bit quieter in the eyes. You can take a deeper breath in and a deeper breath out if that's something that you'll just feel will just bring you to the present moment a little bit more clearly. And then I want you to get a sense of how it feels around the forehead, around the eyes, around the cheeks, around the jaw, around the back of the throat and the back of the tongue. And just see if you can encourage a sense of release in those areas. So one way is to imagine a kind of warmth there or a softening there. Or just to bring a sense of, literally a sense of imagining light in those areas of tension. And then coming down to the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the armpits, and through the elbows and the wrists and the palms of the hands, fingertips, the joints of the fingers, and seeing whether you can create some softness there. And again, maybe bringing a sense of either warmth for any tension or light into those areas. We're just lightening up, warming up, softening, soothing, letting go. And then just working through the center of the body. So the chest, the rib cage, the belly, the upper back, the mid back, and the lower back. And releasing any holding, any tightness that you might feel. Softening, soothing, bringing a sense of light, sense of warmth to the body. And then working down So kind of the pelvis area, your bottom, your lower belly, your inner thighs, backs of your calves and into your feet, your ankles, your toes, and the soles of your feet. Being really mindful of releasing any tension that you hold in there, using your imagination to bring light to that area of the body, warmth to that area of the body, softness. And now in a sense of the whole body, if you can. Imagine the whole body. And having a softness, sense of release, sense of the body lighting up, warming, soothing. And maybe imagine a sense of layers that you can just unfold and release and let go into the ground. So each time the mind gets active, coming back to the sense of the body and either working on or around really tense areas to really release. So if the jaw's tight, just going back to that for a moment. If the shoulders are tight or the chest, just really giving that an extra little bit of TLC through your imagination, through a sense of light, through a sense of warmth, through a sense of release. And letting go. So again, a sense of the whole body sitting. Whole body able to release and let go. The whole body feeling safe. No need to hold on to anything. Just release and let go. So just having a gentle movement now of the toes, gentle movement maybe of the fingers, and a deeper breath, particularly the out breath, maybe just to let go. Open the eyes if the eyes are closed. And just for a moment, just doing a check out if you like. So mental well-being score. Do you still feel that your mental well-being is low, neutral, high? Do you feel the process of coming back to the body is helpful, even for a short period, to release and let go? Okay, so just coming around, just having a look around you, just taking the world in. So it's just one way of anchoring ourselves, one way of being mindful, coming back to the body, knowing that the body holds the score, if you like, of where we're really at, and checking in and checking out through a process of body scanning, body sensing, using a sense of light, a sense of warmth. Some people prefer a sense of coolness, so you could always use a sense of coolness, of ice kind of melting on the body to melt away tension. So if you want to kind of bring mindfulness into your everyday life, you could look at doing this kind of body scan in the day as a practice. You could bring it into a time before you're going into something that's going to challenge you. You could use it after you've gone through something that's been difficult and just bring yourself back down, take away the agitation from the mind and come back to the body. So just a few suggestions, and we will leave it there. I don't want to keep you any longer. I'll be here again tomorrow evening when we're focusing on the power of the breath to bring us and anchor us into the moment.